In Cape Town, they don't so much roll out the red carpet as sing you through the front door. In December 2019, 28 teams, 12 women's and 16 men's, arrived in South Africa to the same rapturous welcome for the third stop of the tour. This, in all its glory, is life on the HSBC World Rugby 7 Series.
Cape Town was absolutely awesome. We didn't know what to expect. It was most of our first time there. We had heard great things, and when we turned up, we got to the hotel and there was a choir of ladies singing for us as soon as we were welcomed inside. And, you know, that just shows just how special the culture is there in Cape Town, and for them to welcome us like that into their town was pretty special.
In the New Zealand camp, spirits were high. They were on a roll. All teams had travelled straight from Dubai, where on Saturday evening, the 24Sevens had secured their first title of the season, beating Canada 17-14 in the gold medal game. New Zealand came close to doing the double in Dubai, but in the men's final, the All Black Sevens were shut out by the Blitzboks. But first, second or last, the teams all got on the same plane to make the same journey. The show must go on after all.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Hola, pues nada, ya hemos embarcado aquí en el avión y va el avión completamente lleno y todo el avión es prácticamente los equipos de World Rugby y nada, muy contentas, con ganas ya de las 9 horitas que nos quedan. ¡Vamos!
9 hours from Dubai to Cape Town. 9 hours to reflect on your performance. In Spain's case, an 8th place finish in the desert. Cape Town then was an opportunity to move on, start afresh and rest. Back-to-back tournaments can take it out of you, especially if you've not experienced them before.
Es grande, la cama. Es la primera vez que las chicas jugamos 2 torneos seguidos. Entonces, bueno, yo creo que la recuperación va a ser un factor muy, muy importante en este momento. Bueno, el hecho de que el formato cambie y se jueguen menos partidos, hemos jugado España 4 partidos, pues también hace que puedas recuperar antes. Y bueno, sobre todo yo creo que con ganas de estar 3 semanas concentradas y la competición enseguida llega y casi no hay tiempo para relajarse. Hay que corregir los errores que ha habido en la otra serie mundial, recuperarse muy bien y vuelta al juego.
Recovery is an essential part of any team's preparations going into a tournament weekend. Kenya finished 13th in Dubai. 4 days from now, they look to improve upon that in a group with Australia, Samoa and Ireland. The American men's team recorded a 2nd place finish in the season standings last year. In Dubai, they could fare no better than 8th. The majority of teams arrived in Cape Town on Sunday. The tournament is a 3-day affair that starts on Friday. Jerry Tuai and the World Series champion Fijians will be ready. Time in the pool, or time spent refueling. Preparation in all its forms is key, whether it's mental, physical, tactical, whether you're a player or an official.
3, 2, 1. Shot off a wee bit early, didn't they? I had to. We need to be as fit as we possibly can. They're often running sort of 3Ks in a game, and they're with some of the world's fastest and best athletes, so they've got to be able to keep up with that. And they've got to be able to be fresh enough to not have their mind clouded by fatigue when they're making decisions. Great work, Ash. Keep pushing, mate. Keep pushing. So that's why we need to be working particularly hard, and especially this year, we know Olympic year, the athletes are going to be the fittest they've been. Nice, Joy, going good, Joy. Nice, Shorty. 435, 436, 437, 440, 441, 442, 443. Last effort, last effort. Great work. Nice shorty, nice Ash. Great effort, ladies, that's awesome. That's right in the hurt box, that's where we need to be. It's good work.
So I mean, the game's 14 minutes and we have to be out there for the entire 14 minutes. You know, we have to be there for every forward pass, every ruck, every tackle, every try that's scored. So it's of utmost importance that we are as fit, if not fitter than the players, to be able to keep up with the play. Obviously we don't have the contact, which is nice, but if they make a break in the first 5 seconds, you know, we have to be there, and if they make a break at the next kick-off, then, you know, we have to be there again. So you know, the work that we put in off the field comes into play with those games where we've got a lot of quick footy that's being played.
South Africa is famous for many things. It's rugby, it's wildlife, it's fans.
Yes, Africans, we are loud. Africans, we are loud. Just an amazing stadium to play at, you know. It's packed. Every time we run on the field, that stadium is full. Just as we leave everything out on the field, I think, you know, the fans do as well. I think they love every pass, every tackle, you know, every hit. I think they love with us. They express themselves just as much as we do on the field, they do off.
The Cape Town Stadium holds 55,000. 55,000 on the terraces saw South Africa get their campaign off to a winning start against Japan. A good start before they moved on to their biggest test against reigning Olympic and Sevens Series champions, Fiji. 55,000 in the terraces cheering them on, and one more in the tunnel giving them the final push.
So Roscoe Speckman is a special person. You know, he's a guy who brings that energy, and you know, we've had a few characters like Juan de Jong, and he always used to shout, he's Menzi, and I think that's one thing that Roscoe took forward, and what it means is the guys are here, and yeah, I think he's just carried that on, and he's almost taken ownership of that role as the guy who makes sure that everyone's head and energy and everyone leaves to the main field with a smile on their face, and I think that's crucial for us.
Cheerleaders, it appears, come in all shapes and sizes, and when you're playing the World Series champions, I guess it helps if you have a world champion of your own. In 2007, Brian Habana was part of the Springbok team that won the Rugby World Cup. In 2020, he watches the Blitzbox.
Speckman! He's the shapeshifter! He is legit! Speckman for Nell. Nell fends nicely. Nell kicks out the tackle. Nell! Here they come, the Blitzbox!
Yeah! Get there, baby! That's so good. It's so good.
Different rugby code perhaps, but the results are much the same.
I think, you know, if you look at the popularity of Sevens in South Africa and the growth, we had Chester Williams, you know, the late Chester Williams, who actually started the sort of professional drive about the Sevens actually not being another part of South African rugby, but being a really important and integral part. And to see the growth of Sevens globally has had a massive impact, not only for the men's, but for the women's game as well. And you look at the stadium, you hear the noise, and you just see the growth, not only from an elite level, but a grassroots level as well. And, you know, for South Africans, our Blitzbox team have done us as a country so proud, you know, over the course of the last 10 to 15 years, so consistently that they really have become a sort of pride of the country.
South Africa, early favourites perhaps. For Brian, an early bath. And talking of pools, South Africa were in a tough one. Being host does not ensure a favourable draw, it seems. Pool A not only featured the team that finished first in the series last season in Fiji, but the team that finished second too. After beating Fiji, South Africa did the same to the USA. That defeat cost the USA a place in the final 8, but South Africa were through along with Fiji. Not so England. The shock of the men's first round, their defeat to Scotland.
It's over! It's just a try! I'm happy with the grounding.
England men out. The England women, on the other hand, stood on the precipice of their own upset. Tied at 21 apiece with New Zealand in the quarter-final, the game went to sudden death extra time.
The sudden death game against England, that was a tough one for us. To be honest, I think we never felt that we were going to lose the game, even though the scoreline might have shown that. And all we said was possession is a big focus. We just need the ball, because when we have the ball in space and time, we're pretty good.
Tui over the top now to Mahina Paul, the youngster, pulls away. The 18-year-old will score a winning try for New Zealand. Well, if one of the superstars doesn't get you, then one of the up-and-comers will. And Mahina Paul has won it for the Black Ferns.
It was a bit of a tough one, but we managed to pull it out in the end.
New Zealand through just to the semi-final, where they dispatched Canada 24-14. In the other semi-final, Australia played France, and history was about to be written. Elliot Green, at 128 career tries, was one shy of sole ownership of the Australian all-time record.
The record means a lot, following the likes of Emily Cherry, as we call her, the GOAT. You know, to beat her record is incredible.
Green on the outside. Oh, the fend from Green is fabulous! 2 players! Sit down on the couch, you can watch me go the distance.
40 metres of space to play with. They don't call it the Green Machine for no reason. Elliot Green, too good.
What a moment in history for this Aussie flyer. All-time tries, 1-2-9.
I like to think of it as more of a team effort, because every ball that she's given me is, you know, probably her try, or every ball that Alicia throws out to me, or Charlotte, or Vanya is, you know, is definitely a team try. So incredible to hold the record, but I definitely thank my skilled teammates for getting me there.
Alia, wow, she is a beast on field.
Big hit from Green, oh!
But if you know her off the field, she is the nicest and kindest person I've ever met, to be honest. So yeah, she's an awesome player.
Elliot Green has saved her side, and they have done it.
One of the more popular players on the circuit, Elliot Green would have a chance to complement her personal accolade in Cape Town with a team one. Australia through to the final for a date against Stacey's New Zealand. In the minutes before kickoff, teams take the opportunity to warm up. A sevens game lasts just 14 minutes. You want to hit the ground running. 1 week earlier, Fiji were caught out in Dubai, finishing 9th. Not what is expected of the World Series title holders. In South Africa, though, they had made the Final Four and a semi-final appearance against New Zealand.
Yeah, that semi-final versus Fiji was pretty fast game. That crowd in Cape Town was definitely, to be honest, it was an amazing crowd. But, you know, the boys really wanted to start well, and Fiji got a couple of yellow cards, and we managed to score some awesome tries and get up on the scoreboard, and then we just held in and the bench came on and we managed to ice the game.
New Zealand through to the final, but to play who? South Africa, with the crowd at their backs, overpowered France 21 points to 14. Now, only New Zealand stood before them and a title win on home soil. Before that, an Australasian affair in the women's final.
Playing Australia in Cape Town in the final was quite incredible. I remember running out on the field and the crowd and the atmosphere was absolutely scintillating. They were loud, you couldn't hear a thing on the field, but it was our first tournament in Cape Town for the women's, so we really wanted to make it a special one.
Oh, a little bit closer there for Fitzpatrick. They reload. Blackburn Sevens with Brazier. Brazier off the left. 2 times off the left. Oh! She is the dancing queen in the final.
We knew Australia weren't going to hand it to us on a plate. We had to fight really hard. We had to work together as one, and there were some brilliant displays of teamwork out there.
Saili, beaten 3, gets the offload to Tui. Ruby Tui sees the line. She outruns her own shadow and gets a second try.
And to feed off the energy within the crowd, I think we did that really well.
Looking to spread it on the outside. Ruby Tui. Tui on Staples. Tui brushes her off. She's not scared of the Staples and goes for the line. Ruby Tui, she's magic. A stunner in the final from Tui.
We played right to the end like we do, and yeah, we managed to pull it off.
Running backwards, and it's a gold rush in South Africa for New Zealand. They go back to back from the desert in Dubai to the beaches of Cape Town.
It was New Zealand versus South Africa in a final again. A repeat of the main event in Dubai a week earlier. There, South Africa had held New Zealand scoreless, winning 15 points to nothing.
Yeah, the final in Cape Town was amazing. I remember listening to the anthems, and I don't think I've ever heard a crowd that loud in my life. You know, the South Africans are so passionate, and you know, rugby's almost a religion over there, so it was an awesome atmosphere.
The Springboks Rugby World Cup winners, the Blitzboks winners in Dubai last week, and looking to ride this rugby high in the Rainbow Nation. Carried forward now, Sinatla in the midfield, floating it wide here for Dry on the switch to Speckman, happy to put it ahead, and so does Zane Davids. Get moving, Speckman, look at the pace, the 2 number 8s. Colliding under the post. Speckman's there to put down Newsome. The ball in the hands here of Speckman. Good weight from New Zealand at the scrum. Away for Sage. Has to throw it away on the backhand. Hedel looking to get on the outside of Weber. Now across for Sinatla, who can't hang on. Big tackle from Regan Ware, knocks that one clear. David's all over that penalty, South Africa.
Just so good with their defensive structures, South Africa. Chris Dry is there, Davids is there, so strong over the ball.
Both teams are D'ing up so well.
We still have no score in this fixture.
And then when you're in those high pressure games or those knockout games, you've got to be there, giving everything you've got at every moment, and if you're not, you'll lose. And everyone's here because they want to win the World Series or win a tournament or try to be the best they can be. So, yeah, sometimes you just got to give everything you got. Yeah.
Not 1 point was scored in the opening half. It was tense for all those watching.
Yeah, the men's and the women's programs are really interconnected. We don't actually train together, but we train at the same facilities. So we're going to have their back no matter what. We're both representing our country, our family, our friends. So wherever we go around the world, we're going to support one another. They're like brothers to us. And yeah, just whatever we do, whatever they do, we're together as one.
Speckman with the feed, that's healed out the back, good work. They set up quick ball for Heddle, who's going to put it in behind for Sinatla. Sinatla v McGarvey. Blackett's going to get loose. It's lost there, that's the call. Sinatla plays on, and who's on the spot? Justin Heddle is right there to put down the opening try. Going to make it a 7-point game, sprays it out to the left. Webber over for Baker. Baker looking to work McGarvey Black down this right-hand side. Suzwapi's there with a tackle. Sage over the top, penalty New Zealand.
Oh no, he needs to just settle down here. Keep the emotions, you young men.
You know, a few games there's a bit of push and shove, and I think that's just both teams being competitive and both teams really wanting it.
Just a little bit of niggle there, drawing the reaction from Oosthuizen.
I think, you know, guys fighting, battling it out on a field, there's always going to be that little bit of tension. And, you know, we're all rugby players, and I think, you know, emotions are high and everyone wants to be successful, and every now and then you're going to have to go head to head.
It's no secret our sport's extremely hard. We give everything we've got, you know. Most boys are playing with niggles or extremely tired because it's so hard, our game, and, you know, any little thing you can do to get competitive, or, you know, any little moment can sometimes boil over, but, you know, both teams at the end of the day shake hands, and that's what it's all about.
Let's cool it there, okay? It's only push, there's no punches thrown, okay? Have a chat to the guys, it ends there.
Well done, Jordan Wade.
This green wall has been so hard for New Zealand to break last week, and through 11 minutes here, Rockalaso out the back. Nashu looking for runners. It's a good carry from Nashu to get his team 6 away. 3 on 2, out to the left. They've got to slide hard here. South Africa, McGarvey Black back against the green and grabs the match leveller. Kick to come. So this to put New Zealand in front. It's good.
I think, you know, in that final we had opportunities, but we didn't take them, and I think that's what they did. They really took the opportunities, which wasn't many, but they took and they used it, and I think they played a very clinical game, and they played a smart game.
They've got to get a steal. The gold medal comes down to this line out. Can Dry get up? Up he goes, it's taken by New Zealand, and that's enough. That'll do it. New Zealand are champions in South Africa.
I think utterly disappointed just in the fact that, you know, we had the opportunity to be successful at home and we didn't use it. And I think, you know, that whole sense of being on top the previous weekend and then feeling completely at the bottom the next, and I think that was the emotion. I think guys were just gutted the fact that, you know, we couldn't give our people at home just that last little bit and that last victory, and, you know, it's one of those games.
South Africa retreat to friends and family and focus on the next event in Hamilton. For New Zealand, there was still some business to be taken care of. In sevens, New Zealand perform the haka when they win a tournament. How many times, we wonder, will we see it this season? From the men, from the women too.
The haka is always quite emotional for us. We know it's a special part of our culture in Aotearoa, New Zealand. So to be able to perform it in front of the Cape Town fans, we know that they love it when we do the haka. So we wanted to make them proud, and they had a lot of support for us there. They knew our girls, they knew our team. So to be able to do that in front of them was pretty awesome.
New Zealand on top. The Kiwis, all smiles in Cape Town. And set to host the next event.
I think the passion for rugby in New Zealand's just, I don't know, it's a bit of a cultural thing. It's part of us. You grow up watching the All Blacks and all our kids dream to wear that jersey.